Hello, this is Lolly with another installment of my Lolly Jolly Challenge. I want to make another tag, and this time I want to use this Safe Freeze, which is a hot buy pad that I got from Michael's. I've taken out 2 sheets from there, and I want to get those trimmed down. I'm going to get my tag out and trim that down to 6 inches. Okay, now I need to trim. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to trim 3 1/8 inch across and 6 inches long. Perfect. So let me get that glued on here. Another tip about paper usage is if you have a paper you're less than thrilled with, is use that as your base paper, and then you can kind of cover it up a little bit with the next layer. Now I'm going to cut this one. Last time I did a band across here. I think this time I might do like a panel inside, and let's see how big I want that to be. 2 3/4 by about 5 3/4 maybe. Let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. Pretty good. I do feel like I need to, I could either shorten it. I think I'll do that. I could make the angles here, or I could shorten it and put it right there. And I'm going to mark where I want to trim that. I could pop that up with some foam. Thinking. I don't know yet. I just might do that. Let's use this. Now I'm going to put plenty of foam on here because this is going to be the base for other additions. So I want to make sure this is nice and strong and can hold on to the a nice strong foundation for my next part. Okay, so now I have that. I have my 2 layers of paper. Okay, what next? Well, the only thing I know is that I want to use this. I had designed this in the Silhouette Cameo or Silhouette Design Studio. So it's just layers of a Christmas tree that I would separate like this. I made it a little wider than that, and I'm thinking I should put that on there. I'm going to need a little piece of brown for a trunk. So that's going to go here. And I think I might just go ahead and glue that on now before I get carried away and forget to put the trunk under there. Oops, no, I just had a thought. What if, yes, let me use my gold marker. Now I already have my glue on the trunk. I'll just have to replace it later. I want to use this, the Deco Color, and put some golds on these. This needs to dry, and I'm still a little concerned about that glue that I have on the bottom. So what I might do is just put it on top of something non-stick like this. Put it on here and let that dry. Now while that's drying, I'm going to be thinking these papers will be one embellishment. This tree, it's one die cut, will be one embellishment. And then I picked up these from the store. I think this was Hobby Lobby. This was Michael's. And I might put something on the tree. And I'm thinking about these. One of the reasons I like these a lot is that these jingle bells are closer together than these Christmas lights are. So what I was thinking was that I would be like draping it. I don't know. They're still pretty far apart from my tiny little tree, so I might just get like one jingle bell on the first segment and two and then three. We'll see how that goes. Tape it around to the back of each segment, and I'm not really sure. If you could see, it would be hard to get to. I could get to. It would just be a real stretch right there, but I think I could do this like that at an angle, like it's wrapping around the tree that way. It's not lying flat. So let me try this again. I don't want the jingle bell sticking up like it's sticking, so I'm going to twist this when I put it around. Okay, now I have to remember that this layer is going to be overlapped to this layer, so I have to put the jingle bell lower down. Another thing I could do is a tiny little notch on either side to hold the little string in place. Now see, I hardly have any room here. I don't think it's going to work, so what I'm going to do is cut this one off and use it for some other decoration. It's really hard to get that down there, so let me see if there's another option here. I think the best bet might be to glue these down first and then tape them to the back. So I think that's where I'm going to have to head from here. Okay, so what I realized with these is I couldn't get these to lie flat on these without constantly twisting around. Even though I taped the cords in the back, they would still want to ride up on this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to glue the little jingle bells down, and then I can wrap the strings around to the back after that. So let me get some paper here. I'm going to use the E6000 this time. I found the Better Ultimate Adhesive works best if you do what they suggest and glue to each side and let it set for a minute. Let's see what I do with the... Okay, I had one of these for the front. And what I'm going to do is glue the jingle bell on here. I'm going to glue it off center on purpose. So like I said, I'll let this sit overnight. I'll make sure it's good and permanent before I come back and try to tape all these silver cords around the back of the tree parts. Okay, well, I'm back. That has set all overnight and then some, actually. So looking back, I would I would do something differently, just so you know. I thought it was a lot of work. Let me see if I can now get these pinned back where I want them. See, and all this work too, you know, these little jingle bells is just still just one embellishment. Okay, now the question I had was, am I going to just glue these on like this, or am I going to separate the layers? I do know I need to glue this on there, which I had started, so it still has a little bit of the dried glue on it. I'm looking at this, and now, you know, I thought about it, and now that I actually have it on there, I'm thinking that this needs a little, the tree trunk needs a little bit of distressing to pop it up from here, because it's kind of getting lost. There. That just helps it to show up a little better. Okay, now I purposely, when I sized this image, I purposely made it so it would stick out a little bit beyond my tag because I wanted that. I do think I am going to lift up the layers. Just think that's going to be helpful for my overall design. And I'm going to lower it a little bit like that. I think all the way to the bottom is going to be my goal. Okay, so here we go. Let's get... I like this foam tape so much because it's such a thin profile. It doesn't add a lot of dimension, so it's a lot easier when I go to use many layers. So overall, I love the look of this. It's just, you know, diminishing returns. Was it worth going through that work? I'm not sure, but maybe because next time it would be easier than it was this time, it might be okay to consider again. Okay, there's that one. Now let's get this one elevated. I could do them at little angles too, kind of like a Dr. Seuss style. Let me think about that for a minute. I kind of like angling it a little bit, so let me do this. Give it some intentional angle there. I like that. Okay, next. You know, the more I do this, the more I'm loving it. Oh, yeah. Okay, the only thing I can see is because this one, it's touching here, I need to add more layers to it to get it up there. There we go. Now we're going. Now we're talking. Oh, perfect. There we go. Okay, I'm loving it now. I love it. Okay, now, as far as my challenge, though, I have 2 layers of paper. I have 2 embellishments. The tree is one, and that's a die cut, and the little jingle bell garland is 2. So I need 2 more types of embellishments. Let me look at my stash. I have this little gold star. I'm wondering if it's too small, but I also have wooden gold stars, which might be too big. So let's see. I think I need a happy medium here. So what I might do instead is to, so this is way too small. I could do that. Like I said, it's pretty big, but it's a nice statement piece. So I might go with that, or I could cut out a punch, a star, which would be a little smaller. Let's see if I have gold paper. Okay, I think this might be the perfect solution here, because it's just about the right size. I mean, it's still large, but I think it's not quite as overpowering as this is. There we go. I could even put this in the center of that to give it a little more. There we go. Okay, that works. I'm all for it. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on here first. Do I want to pop that up? It's almost losing. I think I'm going to glue it just as it is. And then I'll glue the, so technically I could call this a third embellishment. It's a hole punch, although it's kind of like a die cut, so it's probably still considered same thing as the die cuts. This is a rhinestone glaze and glue from Craft Fantastic. Let's put a dot there. Okay. Oh, that really brings out the gold star quite a bit. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that better. Isn't that cute? Okay, another thing that I know I want to do, I want to see what it looks like to use some of these homemade enamel dots, like as little ornaments on the tree. So let me see what that looks like. It might be kind of anticlimactic after having all those jingle bells on there. I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm just not sure. I have to think about it for a minute. The other thing I could do is something that says Merry Christmas on there. So I have some tags. I have this one, which is kind of in the right color scheme. And I'm wondering about cutting up the Merry Christmas on here. I'll try to save that ribbon. I don't know why they have two of them fixed together. See, it just says Merry Christmas right across here. I like the way it looks like it's an old wooden sign. Okay, so because the tree is leaning that way, I have more room on this side to put Merry Christmas. Okay, it's still getting a little lost. Like it almost needs black maybe. There we go. And I could put some colored paper under it to pop it up like this. That would help to bring it out. But I think it would need to be green or black because this is getting lost too. Oh, decisions. Just a real tiny frame here. Let's see what that looks like. I prefer the green. I can't find any scraps right now. And sometimes I just say I'm not going to keep looking. I'm going to go with it. There you go. I'm just giving it a real tiny sliver of black showing there. And that right there would work. There we go. Okay, so now oops, these aren't glued down. So I have to look at this and consider what I like better, if I like it better with these or not. I personally like a lot of lights on my Christmas tree, but somehow these just weren't doing it for me. I think the glimmer and the sparkle of this silver thread and these pretty metallic jingle bells make these look kind of dull, and I didn't care for that as much as I thought I would. So I may come back to it. Okay, so we still have, this, I'm going to say all the die cuts are 1 embellishment. This is 2, the star is 3, and this is 4. So I have 4. The question is, do I want to add more because I think it might need it? So one thing I'm thinking about, I have this ribbon that's burgundy with gold edging on it. And I'm wondering if I put that across the bottom here, maybe even under the trunk, would it look like it was more finished around the bottom? And I think it does, so I'm going to do that. Now, I could have thought of this obviously before I put the tree on, but it wasn't until just now that I felt like something was missing. Putting that down, I'll trim it off in a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to add, it's time for glitter, everybody. Oh my goodness, here we go. This is not the first time I've done this. I'm a glutton for punishment. Is that too, I think I need to cut this down the middle, because it's just too wide for this project. I wanted to add some prettiness without being overpowering. Okay, so I ended up doing an extra embellishment because of this ribbon. So the die cuts are 1, the jingle bells are 2, the gold star rhinestone is 3, sentiment 4, and the ribbon is 5. And the ribbon across the top, or the fiber here, does not count as an embellishment, but it's part of the requirement for the giveaway. So make sure you look down below, and I will give you the link to the giveaway itself. This is so glittery, folks. I'll give you a link to the giveaway so you can see all the instructions in there. And under that video is a link to the blog that tells you the exact details, measurements, etc. for this. The giveaway, all the submissions for your entrance to the giveaway need to be emailed to me by November 10th. And yeah, it's coming along. Thank you. I already hit 20,000 subscribers, so right after November 10th, I'll be able to announce the 2 winners from a giveaway. And I think that's it. I'm kind of babbling now. Thank you very much for watching. And I could have done an eyelet in the hole. I decided not to this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching and participating in the Lolly Jolly Challenge.